First thing that we're going to cover is technical buildup. So working with our primary hand maneuver, we're going to employ a clamp, a full clamp, and then a pinch and pop together in one move that is going to be all-encompassing for what it takes to create leverage over the ball quickly and discreetly without losing any leverage as we disengage once we arrive at a clamp. And so to do that, it takes a lot of handwork that you need to coordinate around your body movements. And so the objective being to generate as much leverage over the ball as possible. And so to get the handwork technique part accomplished, we have a particular way that we do it. This is technical buildup. So as we start technical buildup, these guys are gonna go ahead and go down, and they're gonna start with their one-hand clamps. So for a one-hand clamp, the idea here is that we're gonna come from the inside, have a body level where we can drive down on the ball, where we're not too high, where we would have to adjust down and we wouldn't be able to employ wrist flexion and elbow flexion in either of our wrists or elbows. And a body angle that's gonna be able to give us this dig on our left side to translate our body weight through our right shoulder and then down on the ball. This is what we're gonna start with one-hand clamps. So as we come in above the ball, we want to be in an angle that gets our right shoulder over the ball as our weight distributes from back to front. And so how we build that up, we make sure that we stay to the inside with our right elbow. And then we punch over top of the ball, bringing the top edge over the ball and our body weight with our right shoulder over the ball as we get off of our knee. And so we're always going to end off of our knee. So one-hand clamps, and when we do this, we'll put multiple reps into this to make sure this works right. So it looks like this. Down together, guys. So set, reset, down, set. Down together, guys. So set, reset, down, set, reset. And you always want to do technical build-up with a whistle, whether you're using an app on a phone or if you actually have a whistle. If you're by yourself, you put a whistle inside your helmet, and you make sure you hear whistle, and you're moving with the first inkling of sound on the whistle, the first breath of the whistle that's gonna get the sound coming out. That's when you should be moving with sound. Down, set. Okay, good. So that's one-hand clamp. The next component for technical build-up is right and left-hand trigger, because your right hand is gonna trigger your left hand to turn down. So you stand up real quick, Gable. So Gable's gonna show us where he's got his hands, he's got palms facing on his hands. Both wrists have the same amount of flexion. Both elbows will have a similar amount of flexion to be able to turn the stick down and turn your elbows and your arms down on the ball, almost like bench pressing on top of the ball as you finish. But you have to start in a manner that you accentuate the motion of coming over the top edge and turning down on your one-hand clamp, and that right hand of your one-hand clamp, where your power is coming from, triggers your left hand to turn the throat plastic, this part of the stick, around the ball, which causes your left hand to turn out and down. So you guys are down together. And so this is right and left hand trigger. So again, dig from here, punch from the inside, angle over top the ball to get our body weight to come over the ball discreetly, as quickly as possible. Set, reset, down, set, reset. And you'll notice that our guys, they have their elbows bent and their wrists bent. Why? They have your elbows and your wrist bent because when you turn down around the ball, you need to be able to punch down with your one-hand clamp and throw your weight down, and also turn your hand down, your left hand down around the ball, which requires you to have both wrists have flexion to turn down and both elbows to have flexion to turn around the ball. So down together, right and left hand trigger. Set, reset, down, set. Notice if I'm off the ground here, then all my weight's got to be over here. All right. Next part of technical build-up is 3 whistles. And so with 3 whistles, we're going to go forward, and we're also going to draw behind. Okay, we'll practice defensively exiting and different types of exits in the last drill. And so the build-up goes one-hand clamp, punch from the inside, drive from your back leg through your butt, up into your shoulder, down on the ball, discreetly, without wasting motion. That's what discreetly is. And then right and left hand trigger, turning the top edge of the ball and turning your left hand out and down around the ball, out and down around the ball. And then the next part is to work yourself into where we're going to add release mechanic. So we're going to go 3 whistles. And 3 whistles is going to begin with going forward. It's going to begin with right and left hand trigger, and then we're going to set a release mechanic, and then we're going to disengage and get the ball out with direction and pace. So down together, guys. So 3 whistles going forward. We're going to go real slow here, just as a demonstration. So here, right and left hand trigger in the first whistle, set, and then from here, they're going to check their time. Not going to waste time getting everything above the ball and then pulling it into their armpit. That's just a waste of time. So you're just going to put their left arm out around the ball, and the second whistle set a release mechanic. And then from there, they're going to disengage. And so they're going to make a move away from their opponent and then out in the direction that they pull their left hand along a tangent to get the ball into a directional release. So reset, guys. We're going to coordinate our hands and our body to sync together to keep leverage over the ball, which is what we're trying to, the overall objective in the first part of the draw, as the whistle is making a sound, to be the first guy with the most leverage. And then what to do at the moment we gain leverage, so that we don't sit and look to see if we have leverage. We already know we have leverage coming to bear, and what's the next component that we're going to do. So if you watch the guys, here if you focus on Pat, he's going to get above the ball, and we're going to go slow, and then we're going to add speed to the whistle as we go to build it into one fluid piece. Set. Down. Now we go a little faster. Set. The purpose here is to coordinate your body around your hands. Coordinate your body around your hands and do it so that as you're coming above the ball, you immediately know that you're in the next piece without having to think about it. Down together, go fast. Set. See the guys respond to the whistle. So that's 3 whistles going forward. So to recap, technical build-up, we'll start with one hand clamp, build that into right and left hand trigger, then get into 3 whistles where we add release mechanic and releasing the ball with direction and pace. The next part is we're going to work to go behind. So 3 whistles behind. Down together, guys. And so again, coordinate our body coming around our hands. Our hands lead our body. So here we're going to draw the ball behind. We're going to draw behind. So that's an important part of the game because guys, I see guys disengage a lot. So Gabe will show us a defensive exit without a draw and keep it real shallow to your body. So set. So as he goes defensively, he keeps the ball shallow to his body. That's a great exit. But it's a lost art for him to be able to draw the ball. So you have some kind of wing alignment and you want to get the ball back to your wing guy, or you're in some kind of scrum and you have a wing guy who comes free and he tells you back, 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 back. You want to be able to flip the ball in the air or draw the ball. So here, Gabe will just draw the ball with me. Set. This is something you want to be able to do, so you have to practice it and be able to do it well. And so you should be practicing with different depths and different landmarks to get to. So here we go, 3 whistles, draw behind. Again, body around the hands. Hands lead the body. Down. We go faster and faster until it's one solid motion, one fluid motion. Set. All right, the last component of technical build-up is 2 whistles, defensive turns. So defensively, you might think is some spot on the field like where the defensive end of the field is. It's not. Defensively is where there is no one. And so as I'm turning around and I'm in a 50-50, so Gable and I are in a 50-50, and we're jockeying for leverage, and then he gets above the ball and has leverage. Okay, so there could be, so Pat's a wing guy, he could be over here, right? And then Tyler's a wing guy against Gable, and I might slide over to here. So where does Gable, where can he go? He's got free back here, that's defensive. It's defensive because it's where no one is. And so you have to practice being in a 50-50 and regathering your feet to maintain leverage above the ball. So as you watch here, these guys are gonna maintain leverage above the ball on the right side of their body. They're gonna work hard to get to right side of their body has weight on the ball, and they never give up the weight on their right hand. Down. So 2 whistles, defensive turn, guys. Set, turn, get out. And here, they all practice the different exit. Yeah, defensively, a different exit. Any exit, but as you peer through the periphery of your helmet and you find an open area where there's no feet around you, that's a good place to go to. So, fellas, why don't you tell the crowd Why can't I pick my head up and look around?
Withholding.
Because it's withholding, right? So as we get a clamp, we have to immediately brake, drive, direct the ball into play within one step, coming freely from the back. So again, 2 whistle defensive turns. So now they're going to get creative, working with different exits here. Set, turn, 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 down. There you go. So let's recap again for technical buildup. 1 hand clamp, right? So we're going to punch from the inside, generate leverage over the ball discreetly without wasting movement as quickly as we possibly can. And our knee is off the ground in that position because we need to get all of our weight to our right hand. So down, set, okay, reset. And then right and left hand trigger. Your right hand triggers your left hand to turn the throw plastic out and around the ball. Down, set. 3 whistles forward, 3 whistles draw behind, and then 2 whistles defensive turns. And that's your technical build-up. And this is Inner Circle Lacrosse.